welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you guys a what we eat in a week video. You guys all seem to love this style of video, and I know that I personally love watching these. It always gives me some really great meal inspiration to see what other people are cooking. So on this particular week, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 different meals that we had, some of them for lunch, some for dinner. I just kind of pull out the camera whenever it's a good time and film a meal that we are making. So on this first meal, this is actually on a Saturday, and we are going to be doing some barbecued chicken kebabs. And with this, I'm going to be serving a crispy rice salad with cucumbers and fresh herbs. The first thing I have going here is I made a marinade for my chicken thighs, and I'm going to be cutting up and letting them soak in this marinade. I did some fresh garlic and ginger, some orange zest, and also some juice from the orange, and some liquid aminos. I'm going to toss my chicken in this marinade and let it sit for a couple of hours. All right, I'm going to take a quick break from cooking in the kitchen to thank today's video sponsor, Hiya. Hiya is a kids multivitamin that I have been using for, probably almost a decade now. Several years ago, when I only had a couple of kids, I started looking for a vitamin for my kids. And just like now, back then I was trying to make most of my meals from home using wholesome ingredients, fresh produce and fruit, organic meats and sourdough. But even when you're cooking with the best ingredients, our kids can still be missing out on essential vitamins and nutrients. And that is why I like a daily vitamin for my kids and even for myself to fill in those gaps. Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise. They can be filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk that I don't want to give my kids, especially in their vitamin. After a lot of research, I decided on Hiya, like I said, almost a decade ago, probably a decade ago. I don't know, my oldest child was 11, and I remember looking into this whenever she was a very little girl. Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk. It is non-GMO, dairy-free, vegan, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and yet it is still kid-approved and it tastes great. All of my kids absolutely love the Hiya vitamins. In fact, I never have to worry about them getting their daily vitamin because they always beg me for it. Even down to my littlest toddler, they will stand at the cabinet where the vitamins are and he will like reach up and be like, yeah, like he knows where they are, and in his own way he'll ask for his vitamin every single day. So that is great because it is very easy, and if your kids are anything like mine, they will absolutely love the taste of these vitamins. 93% of kids don't eat enough fruit and vegetables, and Hiya fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diet to provide the full body nourishment that our kids need. The best part is that Hiya is so easy and it will arrive straight to your door on a pediatrician recommended schedule. Your first month comes with a reusable glass bottle your kids can personalize with stickers, and every month after that, Hiya sends a refillable, no plastic pouch with fresh vitamins. That makes Hiya great for your kids and also great for our environment. So if you are searching for a healthy vitamin for your kids, you guys will definitely want to check Hiya out. You can use the link down in my description box below, and be sure to use the code YTOilyHouse to get 50% off your first order. I am slicing up a pineapple. My kids love pineapple, fresh, grilled, any way I put it in a smoothie, doesn't matter. They love pineapple. So I'm going to be doing just a simple kebab with the chicken, pineapple, and then some onions. Kebabs are just one of those staple fun things to do during the summertime, and every time I make them I think, what's the point of this? I could easily just like throw all of this in a skillet and pan fry it up, but something about the food on a stick makes it so exciting, and the kids love it, and they're so beautiful, and it makes it really easy to throw on the barbecue pit. Now that I have the chicken kebabs all put together, I'm going to work on the dressing for my salad that I'm making. So I'm adding to a blender about a 1/2-inch knob of fresh ginger, 1 clove of garlic, 1/4 of a cup of fish sauce, 1/4 of a cup of avocado oil, and then I'm juicing about 3 limes into this, adding in a couple tablespoons of brown sugar and a little bit of chili crisp. I don't do too much because I don't want it to be too spicy for the kids. Then I just blended it up, and now I'm just pouring it into a little mason jar, and I'll just put that in the refrigerator while I work on the rest of the salad. I was inspired to make this because I had some leftover rice in the refrigerator and I wasn't sure if we were going to eat it, so I decided to make this crispy rice salad. So I added a little bit of oil and red curry paste to my rice, mixed it all up, and I'm putting this up really close to the heating elements in my stove, and I'm going to cook it on high to get that rice nice and crispy. While the rice was roasting in the oven, I sliced some cucumbers and cilantro from our garden, and then I add the rice in, a little bit of that dressing, and toss it. This made such a delicious side to our chicken kebabs. Meals like this are going to make me miss summer so much. I love the colorful, fresh garden veggies and herbs that summer brings. For this next meal, I am making a Thai chicken curry. My husband is not a big fan of like traditional curry with turmeric, and so this is a red curry, so he much prefers when I do it this way. I am starting off by slicing up some peppers and onions and chicken, and I'm getting the chicken seasoned with a little bit of salt and pepper. And now I'm getting a cast iron skillet nice and hot and getting some coconut oil in there so I can pan sear my chicken. I love the flavor of seared chicken. It really locks in all the flavor, gives that chicken the nice fried crispy outside. And then once I removed the chicken, I'm adding in my peppers and onions to get them sauteed. I'm using some red curry paste in this recipe as well. Once I had the jar open, I figured I better find some more ways to use it. So I added that into this, and then I am doing some coconut milk to give it that nice coconut curry flavor. This will be the sauce for my dish. Adding the chicken back in and letting it cook through, and then I am making some brown rice to serve with this chicken and the curry sauce. I love making different meals for my family and letting them try different cuisines and flavors. I think it's so fun, and I think that it really helps my kids to enjoy different foods because I don't just give them the same things over and over again. We like to try new things, and of course, just like any kids, there's certain things that they like better than other things, but I love letting them try different things to hopefully expand their palates. This dish was so delicious, and it was very simple to make and also a very easy cleanup. This next meal was my personal favorite. It's a garlic shrimp pasta. I am a sucker for anything seafood. I would pick it every day of the week if I could. I wish I lived right on the coast or something, and then I probably would eat this all the time. It's harder to find good sources of seafood when you live in the Midwest, but I do the best that I can. So today I'm doing a shrimp meal. Like I said, it's a garlic butter shrimp pasta. So I'm starting off by defrosting my shrimp, and then I am patting it dry, and then I'm just going to season it with a little bit of salt. I'm really gonna miss my herb box whenever it gets a little bit cooler. I love having fresh herbs right off my kitchen in my sunroom. I'm cooking my shrimp on my cast iron skillet with just a little bit of oil. I'm adding in a bunch of garlic, and then I'm going to add in some butter and a bunch of cherry tomatoes. Added in a bunch of black pepper and some red hot pepper flakes, and then I am going to pour the sauce and the shrimp over my pasta, add some fresh parsley and some Parmesan cheese. Like I said, this was so delicious and so simple to make. It only took about 20 minutes. As always, I will link the recipes down in the description box below in case there's anything that you saw and would like to try. You guys can get the full recipes down there in the description box. All right, so for this next meal, I am making a cheeseburger soup with some sourdough rolls. So this meal actually started the day before. I got my broth going last night before I went to bed. I also got my sourdough rolls going. I actually filmed me doing that, but later on I saw that it was way too dark in my kitchen, and that did not turn out well. So I'm just telling you that that's what I did the day before. So for the sourdough rolls, I'll link that recipe for you guys down below, but I got the sourdough starter, the flour, all the ingredients put together in my mixer, mixed it up, and then just left it out in a grease bowl overnight. And after I get the base of my soup going, I will shape those rolls to let them have a second rise before baking. I absolutely love soups. Any time of the year, I like the way they taste, but I think as the cook and the person that's serving the food, I really like soup because they're just the easiest thing to serve. It's just one pot, everything goes in together, and then you just scoop it out into a bowl. There's no cutting, there's nobody requesting different condiments or anything. It is what it is in the bowl. So as the cook, it's one of the easiest things to make and serve and clean up. And so I'm not sure if I love soup because of the taste or if it's because of that. No, I really do love soup. Like, it's just such a delicious comfort food, but for the cook, it is a very simple thing to serve. And then when you do some rolls with it, it's just one of those foods that I love. I know it's more of a wintry food, doesn't go as well on this summer menu like the garlic shrimp or the kebabs. But when I'm trying to get broth into our diet, it calls for a big pot of soup. Anytime I make chicken broth, I usually make enough for several meals. And so after I add it in to my pot here, what I needed for this meal, I strained the rest of the bones off and then stored it in some mason jars. And then I'll leave that in the refrigerator for different meals and things this week. I like to typically cook my rice in broth just to add more nutrition. We might do some more soups or stews. I'm not really sure what else is on the menu for the rest of the week, but we will use it up, and then whatever we don't use, I can always put into my freezer. I added in a little bit of flour and milk into my soup just to thicken it up, and then put some cheese in there to melt. And now I'm adding an egg wash to the top of my rolls, and I will get these in the oven to start baking while my soup simmers on the stove. I cut these rolls out, we slobbed a bunch of butter on them and served them with our soup. It made a very delicious and easy meal. All right, on this next meal, I am making a chicken pot pie. It is a rainy day outside, and so it just sounded like a fun idea to make chicken pot pie. I'm using a whole chicken that I am just starting off in my Instapot here, adding a little bit of salt and pepper and some water, and I will cook it in here. Then once it's done, that's what I'll use for my chicken in my pot pie. I get a lot of comments about my baby in my wrap, and I have the wrap that I'm using linked down in my description box below because a lot of people want to know the type of wrap I'm wearing. This is like Solly baby wrap. It's one of my favorites for the newborn or the first few months phase. And a big comment that I'm getting all the time now is everyone wants to know why I'm always wearing my baby. I never put him down. I know I don't have to explain myself, but I'll let you guys know that he is in here quite a bit, but you guys see him in here all the time because when he is not in my wrap, he is down and wanting attention and wanting me to play with him. And I typically only cook or do the things around the house when he is sleeping in my wrap, because if he's not sleeping, he doesn't want to just be down by himself. He needs me to be talking to him. And so those typically are times that I'm not actually able to do the things that I'm showing you. So he does get out lots throughout the day. You have to remember that these videos are just a small portion of my week that I'm sharing with you, and the easiest and best times for me to film is whenever he is sleeping in my wrap. So that's why you guys see him in there all the time, but he really does enjoy being in there. It's his favorite place to sleep. If I take him out and try to lay him down, he will wake right up. So he's nice and cozy here in my wrap, sleeping, and that's probably where we're gonna see him for his whole first year of his life. All right, my chicken is done, so I am shredding it and taking it off the bone while my veggies and broth are simmering on the stove. I added in a little bit of cream to make the filling nice and delicious. And then I'm going to get started on my biscuits. This is another one of those meals that I love serving and preparing. Again, it's so nice to have a dish with everything in there. You get your vegetables, your protein, your carbs, all in one when you have a chicken pot pie. And I don't know about you guys, but everyone loves chicken pot pie. It's just such a comfort food, so delicious, and honestly, so easy to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe you guys got some new meal inspiration or things to try. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite things are to cook or what you're cooking this week. I love to have new ideas. I feel like sometimes we can get in a rut of making the same things over and over again, and it's so fun to see what other people are making and being inspired by their meals. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.